Well, hello there, folks. Good evening, and welcome back to the Masters Championship tonight. As it says in the title of the stream, it's just going to be a simple preview and predictions of the season to come, which is going to be starting on Friday. So I am really looking forward to that. But to help me talk you through everything, it is the co-admin, that is TMC Racing League 1, which is Timo.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, lads. And yeah, let's get this done. Actually, a quick prediction from Dan and me to see what the season can bring us, what the teams could achieve, and yeah, how the season could unfold in Division 2 and Division 1. Season 8 is coming up, and I think we shouldn't let the guys wait any longer, Dan, shall we?
Yeah, we may as well just kick it off because, it's pretty late at night, so I don't really think people want to hear us talking too much. So we may as well just crack on with the team, to be honest. But we'll start off with Division 2. What do you think now about some of the lineups for Division 2? There's some very interesting teams there, isn't there?
It is indeed, especially the former Division 3 drivers of last season are in there as well in this brand new formed Division 2. So it will be really interesting to see what these guys actually can do now against the likes of TMC Corby, who was Division 1 last season, or TMC Yarem, who is in my eyes the favorite, you can say, from the paper. The raw pace of these guys. Adibaba, Mark Demand is a strong team, the Red Bull. Also, Tom Pretty is there with Ali. So also a few dark horse teams, in my opinion. Will be interesting to see what they can achieve. So I think it will be a very close fight in the midfield anyway. So what do you think yourself?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Like, it's going to be a very interesting one now. I'll just quickly run through the teams anyway, just so people can understand. So in the Mercedes, it's going to be Seigate and Sergeant Hitman. Them two did get paired together because they didn't have a team yet. Ferrari has Beano Man and Bomber, which for the same reason they didn't have a team yet, so they got paired together. Alibaba and Mark Demand are both in the Red Bull. That was to be expected. I knew them two were going to be teammates. Same with you, yourself, Timo. You're back a game of sway this season to rekindle the partnership that you had last season, but this time you two are going to be driving the McLaren, so I'll get your wee opinions on the McLaren in a minute once I run through the thing. Renault next is Tom Pretty and Ali. Them two formed together. That's a bit of a interesting team now, I must say. And then we have Race EP1 and not Race EP1. We have Racing Point, which is Yarham and Stevie G. And then we have the Toro Rosso of PFC Steve and Awesome Dude. Haas is D-Burr and Extrema. Alfa Romeo is TMC Corby and Unsafe Release, and the Williams is Matt Holmes and Big Shack. So yeah, just quickly when I went through them teams, I think the favourites is, in my personal opinion, I think is going to be Alibaba and Mark Demand, just because the two of them are friends and they know each other and they are pretty consistent, I must say. But in terms of actually like the quickest person in the division, I would say Yarham's the quickest, but he wouldn't be the most consistent. So for that reason, I'm going to go for, me personally, I think Red Bull would be the favourites for the constructors. But there's also another shout as well, like Timo, yourself and Sway. If you two are managing to have a good season, you two will be challenging there as well because you're both very consistent. TMC Corby, if his lag doesn't play a part, then he should be up there along with Safe Release. Tom Pretty and Ali, they'll be an interesting partnership now because they're both very consistent. Like Tom's not particularly the quickest, but he will never give up. Like Tom doesn't rage quit, he doesn't DNF, he'll keep fighting to the very last lap anyway. So he could spring a few points, and Ali's going to be up there. So it's going to be a very interesting one, Timo. But as we were saying about you having the McLaren, what's your feelings on the car? Are you happy with it, or what do you think?
To be honest, I just barely practiced with the car, to be honest, a few laps in Bahrain, because I don't know yet if I'm actually racing in Australia, so that's yet to be decided. I talked to my boss tonight, and we tried to change it that I can race in Australia or Bahrain, so let's see how that plays out. There, I'm getting an answer tomorrow, so you guys will get an answer from me there as well. So in terms of the car, it's handling pretty good, to be honest. I like it, how it's to drive. Maybe a few setup changes need to be made there as well, like the driving style of me. Also, I was a bit rusty, to be honest, so I need to get back in the rhythm, like I said yesterday as well. So can't tell much at this point. So I think it's all now at the start of the season to come back in your rhythm. To build up all the process with your teammates, get the practice in, and just build up the confidence with the car you have with your teammate. And if I do this like I did last season properly, so I think I will have a very good season. And I'm also very happy with the car. Luke is very happy with the car, so he likes it as well. And I think that's a very good, delighting basement to start your season. If you're happy with the car, if you're happy with your teammate, you can go full attack and hope for the best possible. So I can't wait actually for my first race, and we hope to succeed. In terms of our position in the team, I think you predicted it well there, Dan, with Yaram being the favorite of Division 2 next season in the Racing Point. Also, to be honest, DVG, he showed great performances last season, especially in qualifying. It was a very, very good qualifier. So for Unsafe Release, who is partnering with TMC Corby and Alfa Romeo, so if these two guys, Unsafe Release and Stevie G, can bring on a good quali performance and perform well in the race and be consistent, they could be good second drivers, to be honest, so to add points to a good team effort. So a close look to these guys as well in Racing Point and Alfa Romeo. As you said as well, Adibaba and Mark Demant in the Red Bull should be up there as well. Also, maybe the favorites for the constructors. And if myself and Sway get our stuff together, we should be up there as well. But it won't be an easy season at all. We have to perform every week, and as I know, or as you guys may know as well, I'm struggling in qualifying a bit. Sway's a bit stronger there on tracks here and there, but if I get my stuff together in qualifying and get a good position for the race, then I should be up there as well. I try to be as consistent as possible to be in the points every race in that division, and then just see what that brings in the end of the season. So, what do you think about my position there in this division?
I think you and Sway, as I said before, think if the two of you actually are getting good practice sessions in, you are finding good pace, I think you two will be up there because you are very consistent, and it's tough to say whereabouts you'll actually place in the order because you can't really tell until after Australia or Bahrain. That's most likely when you know what the actual order is. But going off actual pace from last season, I would say Yarham would probably be favourite, but I wouldn't discount Joe Corby or Mark Demand. People question about Mark Demand, but to be honest with you, Mark does have a bit of pace, and he will practice. It's the same Adi Baba, so I think them two will be up there. So I don't know, team. It's going to be a very interesting one now, but I would say Yarham will be favourite if he doesn't be inconsistent. If he's consistent, he'll win. But if he doesn't, I think Joe and Mark Demand will definitely be there. And in terms of you and Sway, I think you and Sway, to be fair, could finish maybe second or third in the constructors. I can't really see it being any lower than that.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to wait and see. We're not going to really be able to tell until after probably Bahrain or China would probably be the best shout to know where everybody actually is. But it's going to be an interesting one, and hopefully you two do have a lot of time to actually practice, because I'd like to see the two is actually fighting for podium some week.
Yeah, I think this way as well messaged me, and he wants to achieve third place in constructors as well. And I took a few notes there for my in my table, and I think I wasn't too far off Mark Demant last season, and I had a fantastic battle with him in Mexico as well. So that was absolutely great driving from him. We are pretty equally matched on pace, so with me and Adi Baba. So I think McLaren's Division 2 rivals of me and Sway could be actually Red Bull. In terms of consistency in the constructor. So I don't know if I'm wrong there, but I think Red Bull will be our main rivals next season. In terms of a dark horse team, if I had to mention someone, which I wrote down as well, is the team of Awesome Dude and PFC Steve, the Toro Rosso. Yeah, both came up from a Division 3 or came now in this new formed Division 2, but Awesome Dude showed a few great quali performances last season. Got a podium in the last race in Abu Dhabi, I think. Was pretty consistent in the last half of the season. PFCC as well, very consistent quali, brings home decent points. So if these two guys perform very well together next season, I think they are up there for 4th or 5th place in constructors. So Toro Rosso of Division 2 is my dark horse team. And in terms of a black horse driver, if I had to mention someone, that is Saigay 2010 in the Mercedes, who's partnering up with Silas. The reason why is he got overachiever 2 seasons ago. He performed very well on his debut season. Had a few good races as well last season, and I think this season, furthermore, I mean, he could be up there as well, as especially for top 7, top 10 results, so consistent points every race. And I think Saigay will do very well next season too. So that's my black horse driver. And to finish that off, I wrote down a prediction order, so just to let you know what I think. So Yarum at the top, then followed by Joe and Mark Demand. That's the top 3 for me. Then I hope closely followed by me, Racing P1. That's a wish. I hope that comes true after 21 races. Then I think Adi Barber. Then my teammate Luke in P6, P7 Xtrimmer, P8 Unsafe Release, Saiget in 9th, and Stevie G in P10, who will be running off the top 10. So it's a hard prediction. So if you would ask our 40 drivers, I think we would have 40 different predictions there. So it's so hard to predict. It's really, really close. And then the midfield of Toro Rosso, Renault, Williams, Ferrari will be very close as well. So Extrema is there. Unsafe Release, Big Shot, Matt Holmes, all good drivers. So the midfield, the top 10 will be a hard competitive season, I think. Would you agree there, or have you another opinion on the top 10 of the drivers?
No, I don't, Timo, to be honest. I think you've pretty much nailed it spot on. But as you said, the midfield battles are going to be very close. The battle at the front's going to be very close. And yeah, all we can do is just really wait and see. And with that motor, I don't really think there's any more to say about Division 2. So we'll go on to the big boy division, which is Division 1. Now this one here now is, I think personally, is going to be very, very tight, especially in the midfield. I think there's 5 standard runaway candidates, but then I think from 5th downwards is going to be literally insane. It's going to be so close. But I'll quickly run through the teams anyway. Mercedes is Combi and Milan Ryan, both 2 very consistent drivers, so them 2 will definitely be up there. Then you have in the Ferrari, you have me and my teammate Matt. I think if we're both consistent, I think we should be up there as well, because we both are consistent drivers. Red Bull has Perpetual Mobile and Chaza. Then McLaren has Captain Chubbs and Caesar. Caesar's come up from Division 3, was battling Graham for the championship when he had to go on holiday. He had to go away on his honeymoon. So it'd be interesting to see how he gets on in Division 1. And then we have Renault, which is Adamaco and Paudi. That's going to be interesting to see how Adamaco gets on, because he was in Division 2 last season. And then we have the Racing Point, which is CR7, which is known as Kevin, and Focky, who won the last race in Division 2 last season in Abu Dhabi. Then the Toro Rosso, you have probably the constructor favourites, which is Calsper, the Division 1 champion, and Medium Pilot. And then in the Haas, you have Coutinho and SH, who won Division 2. So that's a very interesting and very strong team as well. And then in the Alpha, you have Jono and Graham. Graham, who was the Division 3 champion, is now taking the step to Division 1. So we'll see who he gets on when he's partnered my ex-teammate Jono. And then finally in the Williams is once again Merck and Whisker. So basically, from running through them orders, as I did say, I think Toro Rosso with Calsper and Medium Pilot will probably be the favourites. They should be, because both of them were fighting for the title last season, and that's, I'm pretty sure, they're both going to be there again this season. It depends, because Calsper's running no assist now, so nobody really knows what his pace is like. Apparently he can do 18s in Australia, him and Medium Pilot, so if they can, then that's basically GG in a 1-2, because that's just insane if they can do it. But it's going to be an interesting one now, Timo. As I've said, there is 5 for runaway candidates. I think that they're going to be at the top. I think it's going to be Calsper, Medium Pilot, Matt, Perpetuum, and Kevin. I think those are going to be the 5 standard, every week are going to be top 5. In what order, I don't know. And then I think the rest of the grid is just going to be so close, because everybody else is so closely matched in pace. But it's going to be an interesting one now. I think Toro Rosso will probably win the constructors, but then I think there's going to be a massive scrap on for second. And I think if me and Matt both get a very consistent season and are practicing quite a bit, I think we could be challenging for second place in the constructors. But I think the team we'll be battling with is Haas, which is Coutinho and SH, because I think the other 2 will be very consistent all every week. So it'll be interesting to see how they get on. But what do you think, Timo? How are you thinking about the order anyway?
Yeah, I was listening quite carefully to you right now, and I wrote down some notes as well. And what you said, almost 100% agreed with my notes there. So nothing really to add there. I think, but I have to say, Calsper won't be the champion next season. I say Medium Pilot will be the champion of Division 1 of Season 8. Then I think Calsper will be behind him, and also, as you said, Toro Rosso, the favorites for the Constructors' Championship. Then I think in P3 in the Drivers' Championship will be Matt, your teammate. Then Perpetuum in P4, and then Kevin rounding off the top 5. That will be very close there with you, Matt, and Dan there. The Ferrari boys. I think your closest rival will be the Haas indeed there with Coutinho and SH. SH winning the Division 2 championship last season. Coutinho is a really sweaty driver, very consistent. He's quick, so I think he should be up there as well. In terms of the rest of the top 10, I think Milan, Ryan, and Combi, the team in the Mercedes, will play a big role next season. So these two are friends. I used to race with them in the German league as well. So they are consistent, they are quick, and I think they will be P2 in the constructors. Then I think furthermore for P8, 9, and 10 in the Drivers' Championship, I think Dan, you will be getting P8, then Merck and Wesker rounding off the top 10. But as you said, in the midfield it's so close. Dan could be P10, Merck could be P7, Combi. So it's quite little margins, and the tiniest of mistakes could change that massively. So as there for Division 2, you could probably take 40 different predictions for Division 1 as well. So it will be very, very close there with Combi, Milan, Ryan, Dan, Chubbs, Coutinho, Wesker, Merck, Cheza is there, Adam, Porty, Jono. So this midfield battle for the top 10 for the points will be as close as last season, maybe even closer. And if I should mention another dark horse team there in Division 1, I think that is the Renault team for me, which is Adamaco and Porty. Because I think that's a very interesting partnership there. Adamaco used to be very quick in Division 2 in qualifying as well. He's quick in the race, had some great performances last season. And Porty, I think he's not the best qualifier, but he is consistent, gets decent points. And I think these two guys, if they get their stuff on, they will do a good job to help each other and get decent points. So the Renault team could be in the midfield there in the constructors, so it would be interesting to see what these guys can do. That Crane will be interesting to see how he can get on after his Division 3 championship. Will be a completely different story after Division 3 last season, so now with the big boys there. Partnering Jono, he started to sweat there with Wesker, Merck, so a lot of sweat is going on for Monday's race. Perpetuum for sure. Chubbs as well, he got very quick. He got 2 awards last season. So Kevin as well, Focky, who did a great job in the last race last season. So I think we can see a great season next season. Also, Matt, I forgot Matt. Sorry, Matt, of course, he's up there. We can see great season together with Anse Felice in the booth, and I can't wait to get started then. So should be amazing.
Yeah, it should be, but to talk to you about who I think's going to win, I honestly think that, I know I'm going to sound probably biased here as well, but I think if Matt gets a couple of wins under his belt, I think he will win, because Matt is very, very consistent. It's just what done him last season was he never got a race win. He got a load of second places, just didn't get the final first position. But I think if he does get a few wins under his belt, he could be the main contender for the title. I don't think Kelsper will win it. I think Kelsper actually might finish third. So I think it's going to be between Matt and Medium Pilot. So it's going to be interesting to see. And as for myself, Timo, saying P8. Jeez, I think, Timo, you're being a wee bit generous there now with P8, man. I think probably P10, P11 in the stands is probably best for me, because it's so close, and one mistake from me could knock me down a couple of positions. So it's going to be interesting to see, man. But I don't know.
I also didn't want to underestimate you with your new wheel, and I think you can get on very well after a few races if you got your rhythm in as well. And also if you have maybe a surprising podium, let's say the first 2 or 3 races, I think you get more confidence and more expectations than for the Drivers' Championship. So I think it's all about a great start to the season in Australia and Bahrain, and then let's see how your aims get on. But I believe in you. I think you are good enough for P8 there, like my prediction is saying. So let's see. As I said, it's really close. You have Chubbs there, you have Jono there, SH. Let's see what Graham can do. Caesar as well. I forgot Caesar. He was racing last season in Division 3. He's also very quick for the midfield. So let's see. Prove us wrong.
Let's see it indeed. But I'm just going to do a quick run downstairs. I've got food on and it's just arrived. So if you want to do the outro, then feel free. But if you don't hear back from me, boys, it's been a pleasure, and I wish you all a good night and a fantastic season. Thank you.
Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks, Dan, for joining me. It was a pleasure for the stream. Let's get on with a great season starting on Friday Division 2. I think Graham is in the booth there. 8 p.m. UK time, starting off with Division 2. If I can race on Friday, will be known tomorrow, so I get a call off my boss and hope for a good message that I can race in Australia and maybe Bahrain as well. I will be definitely missing China, so that's a big shame because I'm loving this track, but I hope my teammate Luke can bring on a few good points for the McLaren team. And all I want to say is I wish you a good season. Hope you enjoyed the racing with no incidents. That would be great to see that the stewards will have less work than last season, so that would be a good aim for Season 8. Pretty much nothing to say. Enjoy your night. Also join me and Alta Feliz on Monday for the first Division 1 stream in Australia. And until then, I hope you enjoy your night. And until then, keep it safe and keep racing.